Hey, welcome back. Today was a pretty tough day. Um, so I'm 53 years old. I've been sober 5 years, almost 5 years. 5 years in July of this year. I've always dealt with depression and anxiety and stuff like that. Um, and cycling has always been a way for me to regulate. I mean, I didn't know it at the time. I didn't call it regulating. But I always felt better if I was riding. In my early youth, it kept me off drugs. I had a lot of friends that committed suicide, overdosed on drugs, got into hard drugs. And I always stayed away from that stuff because I considered myself an athlete. I enjoyed riding. Um, and even early on, I knew I had an addictive personality. And that's just not a direction I wanted to go. My parents were both alcoholics, and I lived through a lot of the consequences of that. Today it hit me really hard. Last quarter of the year, last year, I work in the computer security industry. Last quarter was busy. I worked for a company where we did a lot of business, and that's a good thing. I mean, I like my job. I like talking about security with people and places, like doing that sort of salesmanship because it's something I believe in. It's something that I know works. I've been a former hacker. I was the guy that would break into buildings and social engineer people and things like that. I never had the true skill for the deep technical stuff, but I knew people as an outside salesperson in New York City for many years. I was cold calling people and constantly trying to find people that needed to buy stuff. And this was a pre 9/11 world, so I became really good at learning how to get into buildings, sneak my way into places, act like I was supposed to be there, and yeah. So anyway, my career has kind of transitioned to more of a subject matter expert, as I said in one of my other videos, where I can talk about my experiences, and that's kind of what I like about this YouTube too. It's been fun to edit video. It's been fun to look at some of these places or look at my rides in terms of how can this be more of a cinematic story. So point is, today was tough. I was just at a low point. Weekend felt like it went by way too fast. Before I knew it, it was Sunday night. I'm getting ready for bed. I'm going to wake up in the morning. I got to go back to work. And I'm here in the Midwest. I'm here outside of Madison, Wisconsin. And it's just gray. It's been muddy. It's frozen mud now. We don't really have a lot of snow. And it can be tough. What I've learned is that if I'm not out in the woods, if I'm not out among nature and exercising, it can be tough. And even though I've been riding on a trainer, I miss getting out in the woods. So today, as I said, was a tough day. And I was sitting there and I saw a picture of my little puppy, my little Dalmatian puppy, about 13 years ago. No, 12 years ago. She's almost 14 now, or almost 15, regardless. And I posted that picture on Instagram, just kind of talked about, my struggles. I'm sure I'll take a screenshot and put it on here because I can't remember it. I'm just kind of going stream of conscious here. But I just put that out there. It was more I don't know what. I mean, it wasn't a cry for help, but this is how I'm feeling at this point. And looking at this photo makes me feel or think about better things. And I forgot that my Instagram posts to my Facebook, and all of a sudden I started getting all these notifications from people. I had asked, what do you do when you're not feeling good? What do you do to stay regulated? And I got all these great things. Like there's an arborarium here, or indoor arborarium where you can go in. Somebody had suggested, hey, go there, go be among the plants and warmth and things like that. And lo and behold, we got one here in Madison. And some people had some really good stuff, but it was amazing because in social media, you can kind of forget. You consume it, you might post to it, and you get thumbs up, but people don't really interact with you. And it was nice to have so many of my friends reach out, make suggestions, let me know what they were thinking of me. And it was nice. And there were some coping mechanisms that I used that I've learned from years of therapy, and those helped as well, and walked outside and all of that stuff. But ultimately, I got through it. But it's something I struggle with. And I imagine that maybe a lot of you struggle with it too. So I'll just put it out there. I mean, this isn't exactly cycling related, but if you're a cyclist and you get burnt out on work or family's overwhelming, cycling can go by the wayside. And at least in my case, if I let cycling go, I stop taking care of myself. I stop feeling good about myself. And things like just trainer wrote telling me that my functional threshold power had increased. And, granted, my FTP is nowhere near even a decent amateur cyclist these days. But it is what it is. It allows me to go out and ride for hours on end. I could do, a 3-4 hour ride if I want to. Be tired, but I can get through it and still enjoy it and not make stupid mistakes, crash, those sorts of things. So it's real important that we keep that stuff in mind. If I learned any lessons, it's reach out to people, through whatever means you have. As an introvert, I'm not normally the type of person that'll reach out to people. I tend to keep to myself, tend to bottle it up. And these are all things that I'm trying to unlearn. So yeah, remember to take care of yourself. Do things that are good for you. I used to have a lot of negative self-talk and things like that. And I've slowly been working to get rid of that stuff. And overall, it just improves the quality of my life. So, I don't know. Maybe this resonates with someone. Maybe it doesn't. I'm still trying to figure out what my niche is. And if people want to hear me talk and just kind of go on about things. I mean, I have 53 years worth of experience. I've owned multiple businesses. I've allegedly broke into nuclear facilities, things like that, when places would hire us to see how secure they were. So I've seen a whole lot, lots of fun stories. I like telling a story. But social media isn't always going to be all fun and everything's fine. And this is kind of my post of like, hey, today wasn't fun, but it got better. And it's kind of cathartic to be talking about it and documenting it. And I'll post this on YouTube, and maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't. Maybe people think, well, he's a nut. we can stop watching him. But this is me. I'm a mountain biker. I'm a computer geek, and I'm a thinker. So, yeah. Anyway, just wanted to check in. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, maybe I'll see you out on a trail. Thanks. Bye. GoPro, stop recording.